Hey, good morning. G'day, how are you today? Hey, Tomek, how you doing, buddy? We'll just give it a couple of minutes. Let's see if we get a few more people join the stream, and then we'll get on with today's midweek market meetup. If you could let me know if the music's okay and the volume of the music's okay, and that you can hear me all right, just give me a thumbs up in the chat. That'd be great. Fossey Trades, good morning. How you doing? We'll give it one more minute and then we'll get on with it. Thank you, Fossey. Appreciate it. All right, guys, let's get on with it. Good morning and welcome to this week's midweek market meetup. I'm Jimmy Trades. We're just going to go through our daily analysis pre-market as we head into New York Open. The chat is open, so feel free to drop a comment in there. We can open some dialogue, have a conversation. You do have to subscribe to comment, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. Frank, good morning. I appreciate it very much, Frank. Thank you so much. All right, we'll start by going over and heading to the calendar. We'll have a look and see what high impact news we have today. So we have high impact news at 8:30, prelim GDP and unemployment claims, followed by 10 a.m. news with the core PCE price index. So we've got high impact news there, looking to wait till after the 10 a.m. news to seek a position. And then we follow that by a bank holiday tomorrow. So Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving in the United States. And I hope all my friends in the United States have a great holiday. And if you're taking Friday off as well, have a great holiday weekend if that's what you do over there. Benjamin, thank you for watching, mate. Appreciate you showing up here and tuning in. So because of the bank holiday, or on account of the bank holiday tomorrow, I won't be doing my usual daily video. I'm having the day off tomorrow. I'm going to catch up with a couple of buddies. So there won't be any content from me tomorrow, but I don't think we'll miss a lot. All right, let's move over to the charts, eh? So feel free to comment, guys. If any questions, we'll work through them. So here we are on NQ on the daily, and I always work with the time frame alignment of daily, hourly, 5 minute. Occasionally I'll look at 15 minute and 1 minute, but I always start on the daily. Pete, good morning. I do want to bring up ES here as well, so we'll throw them side by side. So we've got ES challenging new all-time highs here, while NQ is lagging behind a little bit. And just a couple of things to note is that NQ is sitting inside this bearish daily FEG and is currently respecting that level as well. You can see even with the push up yesterday, we weren't able to get past the consequent encroachment, or at least close beyond that level of that daily FEG. And what we also have is an SMT. So we have a bearish SMT with ES. Just reading Benjamin's comment here. How can I make a market analysis? By following news, and in what time frame should I use to make my markups? In NYC tech analysis? I'm not sure NYC, or you just mean my analysis maybe. I always start with looking at high impact news. So just the red folders. Just to see what's coming up on the day. It doesn't necessarily mean I won't take a trade if there is no red folder news, but we like to see that volatility injection into the market. Outside of that, it's waiting for 9:30 New York Open. If you trade indices, so indices being your ES, NQ. If you're trading commodities like gold or oil, then you're starting from 9 AM. That's when the market opens for gold and oil. And then I start my day on the daily chart, and I'll look for internal liquidity. So here we have internal liquidity being this bearish FEG, and the price or the market moves from internal to external, external to internal. So what I'm looking for here, for example, is price sitting inside this bearish FEG aligned with an SMT, a bearish SMT, because NQ has a high and then a lower high here across these 3 days so far, whereas ES has put in a high against a high. So then we'd be targeting, for instance, this low here for NQ. So using NQ, we'd be looking for a bearish bias today. What is high impact news? Is it a website for important news? Yes. Okay, so let me bring that up here. Let me go back to the news. Okay, so this is the chart that the website we use, Forex Factory. Okay, so what we have here are red folder news, and you can filter this through this toggle here. And I just have on the high impact news and the low impact news, and the low is really just for looking for those bank holidays. And I have only USD news selected. That's the only news I look for. So we use Forex Factory, and then also we can use this, and we'll have a look at oil while we're here, which we didn't do earlier. So for those who trade oil, we do have high impact news with oil inventories today at 10:30 a.m. So if you trade oil, it's a great idea to be patient. If you're in a trade, or if you do find a potential trade set up prior to 10:30, then I'd look to exit my position before the 10:30 news drops, because you just really never know what news is likely to do. Otherwise, we just wait till after 10:30. So that's where we start our day. We jump onto Forex Factory and see what high impact news is ahead of us. Okay. The pros and cons of Forex trading. Well, I've never traded Forex. I only trade futures, and probably, I guess, one of the main reasons for futures trading is the spread. There's very little spread, if not most of the time zero spread on futures, unless it's, of course, a volatile candle. You know, if you're trading high impact news, for example, you might be trying to pass an evaluation, and you use a high impact news to do that with an evaluation account from a prop firm. Then you'll notice that when the news drops, you'll get spread on that. But most of the time, if you're just taking a normal position, you know, on a 5-minute chart, you'll get filled at exactly where your order sits, and you'll exit the position exactly where your TP is or where your stop loss is, for the most part. Okay, so let's drop down to the hourly on NQ now that we've had a look at the daily. I'm from Australia. I live in Brisbane, which is in Queensland, Australia. So initially I was looking at a change in the state of delivery here, which was mitigated or chopped around on over the last day. So I was looking for lower prices yesterday because I was anticipating price to respect this level. Price came back up and chopped around. But here we have a new change in the state of delivery. And what we've got to also acknowledge here is this hourly bullish breaker. So it's actually an hourly unicorn here. So we see our stop hunt. And then this being our breaker, the consecutive candles here. And we do have an FVG aligned. We actually have a couple of those aligned with the breaker. So what we can see here is price is actually getting held up at this level, which is also a bullish change in the state of delivery here. We're sort of stuck between two opposing PD arrays. So if price does have a willingness to move lower here, we also have these equal lows for a draw on liquidity. And again, this is also, so at the moment, price for me is, it's not as clear as I'd like it to be, because we have bullish potential and we also have bearish potential with so we have the change in the state of delivery here. We have a breaker as well, displacement through. So we'll see what price does. If price does manage to find its way lower here, then we'll seek out this low. So looking from the daily, then we're going to be bearish, okay? And then looking at the hourly, a little bit undecided here, being stuck between these opposing PD arrays. Jump over to ES. So ES has already swept previous day high. We have no area of interest here, no internal or external liquidity for price to be moving from at the moment. We've been targeting these highs here, which would be obviously new all-time high. You can see that this wick here, price is respecting the 50% level of that wick. And with the SMT as confluence, you know, I'm looking for price to run lower here as well for ES today, with the fact that we've already swept previous day high. Be interesting to see how price reacts here to the body range of the previous day. And we can see we have bounced off of that 0.5 level. Will price continue to move lower? So let's have a look at the hourly. So on the hourly, we have a sweep with a breaker here. We have displacement through the breaker, so we have a bearish hourly unicorn and a change in the state of delivery. We also have all this low resistance liquidity here. So this is high resistance liquidity on our side of price and low resistance liquidity on the other side of price. If we run our standard deviations from the high to the low here, we get a nice target region which aligns with this low resistance liquidity. So if price is going to continue to move lower today, then we're going to want to see this level respected. We're going to want to see this change in the state of delivery here respected. And also keeping in mind that as price does move lower, if it does indeed move lower, we have the bullish change in the state of delivery to contend with as well, and this bullish breaker. So right where our -2 to 2.5 target region is, we've got the bullish PD arrays. So if price can respect this bearish FEG here, or indeed if it does push higher, you know, we respect this change in the state of delivery, we can anticipate price to move lower today. And that might just be short term. We're at all-time highs or very close to. And I guess if you use Bitcoin as an example, you know, we were literally $200 away from $100,000 Bitcoin, and you know, we've seen quite a retracement. So, you know, the target is right there for new all-time highs, but we haven't quite got there yet. So we'll see what plays out today as we move into the holiday. I'm not too sure how the market will react today with the holiday tomorrow, but I'm assuming it's just business as usual. Let's jump over to oil. Actually, you know what? Let's go and have a look at NQ again, because I actually took a London trade. I don't often get to trade London. Things just align today, so I might as well share that with you guys. So let's drop to the hourly. So we had price running up here, and price as we came into the London kill zone, which is 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, price came up into this bearish FEG. I was watching NQ and ES alongside each other, and what I liked is that for ES, and we'll just clear that, for this same candle, so the same candle, they both reach up into a bearish FEG. But what I liked was that on ES, this candle closed back inside the range of the previous candle. So that gave me some confluence to say, hey, price might actually move lower here. And because I like to trade NQ, I decided to execute on NQ. So if we drop down to the 5 minute, you won't see the executions on this chart because I actually did this on my Top Step X funded account or accounts. Where are we? Okay, let's go back to this is TradingView, Benjamin. Top Step X has its own platform. Okay, so here was the position. So here is that hourly point of interest. You're welcome. You're welcome. Here's our hourly point of interest. ES still had Asia lows unmitigated, so was also looking to see if those lows would be taken. So you can see Asia low was already swept here on NQ, but for ES it was still unmitigated. And then, not that one, this one. Sorry, here we go. Get the right one. Here we go. It was this breaker here. Okay, and the reason it's this one is because this is the lowest down close candle before the leg that swept liquidity. So this leg is the leg that swept liquidity. Okay. Now, price came through and I actually executed on this 305 candle here. So when we saw this 3 o'clock candle close quite decisively through the breaker, I put a limit order in here. Now, it's not a confirmed unicorn until you actually get the FVG aligned. But I had confluence and confidence in my trading to put a limit order in prior to this candle closure. I got my order executed and price ran quickly up higher here before we actually got our move lower, and I took 2R, and we could have got nearly 5R, I think it was, by the time it was quite a good run lower. DTR, welcome, buddy. Thanks for joining. How are you, pal? So yeah, so that was the London trade I took on NQ. Got into the trade a little bit early. It played out though. You would have had to have front run the trade or market ordered in if you wanted to get into this trade after this candle closure here. Otherwise it just ran away. All right, let's jump over to oil. So oil at the moment is not really located at a point of interest. Okay, there's no FVG here. There's no swing high. And same down here, we don't have an FVG or a swing low. All we have to work with is this candle here has closed inside the range of the previous one, which may see price move higher. So when I don't have a clear bias on the daily, I'll just move to the hourly, and I use the hourly structure to help define my bias for the day. So let's do that. So Jake's, sorry, not Jake, JKB is asking to have a look at the 415 entry. Okay, we'll have a look at that in a second. That's on the 5-minute, JK. So after we got a change in the state of delivery up here, cool, man, we'll have a look. Good morning, white chocolate. How you doing, pal? We had the change in the state of delivery. So bearish change in the state of delivery. Price moved immediately from the change in the state of delivery and had quite a sell-off here. We can see price then tried to push back up here. We had a bullish change in the state of delivery with a bullish unicorn that quickly got disrespected after price reached up here into this bearish FEG. So this was quite a rapid move. Price then quickly sold off, and we can see that the bullish PD arrays were disrespected here. Again, now you see the same thing. Price moved lower, we've come back up into this bearish FEG, and price has been unable to move through that level. Bassem, good morning. Hope I pronounced your name right, pal. Thanks for joining. Benjamin, if $300 you could start, looking into prop firms potentially. If you're trying to trade with a broker, there are minimum values you need to have to be able to trade certain contracts, and that's quite variable across every broker, so you'd have to look into each of those, but you could potentially get started with a prop firm if you just wanted to start dipping your toes in and trade in the live market. So using the hourly here, I would still suggest that we potentially could move lower. We can see we're obviously moving down. Each time we've come back up to test these bearish PD arrays, we've moved back lower, and we're doing the same thing again here. So we'll have a look for bearish price action today on oil. Now we'll have a look at this 5-minute trade. Let's clear that. So it was at 4:15. Entry was at 4:15. Okay, so we were looking at, this is the breaker. Is what I'm guessing. If we're taking a short, then this would have been the breaker. Just let me know that I'm on the right path there, JK. This would have been your stop hunt. Okay, cool. So we're on the right track. The first thing that I'd say about this trade, obviously it was a losing trade. The thing I don't like about it is that price didn't displace through the breaker straight away. So price was unable to do that, and then we pushed higher before actually making that displacement. That's the first thing I'd say about that. And then also, we had these series of lows here that were swept. So there would have been quite a lot of liquidity here resting at these lows, and we can see that that was used to fuel this move higher. Yeah, when you're taking a unicorn, you really want to see price just move straight through the breaker without really any hesitation at all. Okay, and then that's going to increase your probabilities, because you can just see here that price really wasn't willing to move higher, to move lower initially. All right, let's jump over to Euro futures. Let's have a look what the daily is showing us there. I think we have to come over a little bit here. We've got this legacy low here. So a low back from November 22, and price swept that low. And we had a nice reaction to that level as well. So we had this reasonable buyer's wick here. So off of that, we anticipate price to move higher. And that's happened so far. There was a bearish, or there is a bearish FEG here that price did stall on. We can see that we got that reaction there. Price moved lower before finally looking like we're mitigating this bearish FEG. So looking to see if price will reach through to this high. Once we reach this high, we'll see how price reacts here for potential internal liquidity resting up here. Hourly is not really that clean. We had this opening gap. Price did fill that, or just about filled the gap here. So there's a little bit of that left to fill. High resistance liquidity. And we do have all this low resistance liquidity for price to reach for, with equal highs or relative equal highs as a target. But we can see that bullish PD arrays are being respected. We're just not moving through this level decisively at the moment. Price is getting hung up here. I think once we see this level broken, if we do, then we'll see that run higher. Let's have a look at the chat for a second. Thanks, Staz, for helping out there, helping Benjamin out. Jerome, good morning. How you doing, buddy? N-Dog and Wild. I do mark that on my charts. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I just call it new day opening gap. I don't care if it's at the start of the week or middle of the week, it's still a gap. You'll find gaps like to be filled. So I do anticipate gaps to be filled. And if we go back to NQ, you know, we had this new day or new week opening gap here. And so on Monday, moving into New York Open, my bias was actually to run short. I had an idea that we might run higher before we see the move lower. You know, was I expecting the gap to be filled on Monday? No, I probably wasn't, but we did actually get that fill. Particularly when we see an open that has a very little wick to the downside or no wick to the downside, that's a very strong draw on liquidity as well. So I definitely look at them for draw on liquidity. All right, let's have a look at gold. So gold on the daily. So I'll be looking for, this is the level I'll be looking at to see how price reacts. Now, we've got price moving from a bullish FEG, which in this dealing range is in a discount. It's in a deep discount. So if we look at the dealing range from the high to the low there, this is our 50% level. And this is in the discounted region of that range. We also see that we had a daily candle close inside the previous day's candle, leading towards potentially higher prices. And the reason I want to look at this level here, this 50% level, is because of this bearish FEG. So I won't necessarily, just because we're sitting in this bearish FEG, I'm not going to straight away change my bias, because there's other factors here that I'm looking at for that bullish idea. If price manages to reach this level, or we find a reaction here, then it's okay. I'm you know, potentially got my bias wrong, but at the moment I'm still looking for price to move higher. And with bias as well, you know, it should be said, and it's been said before, that we're just using bias as a tool to get into a position. So your daily candle, if you've got a bullish bias today, like I do for gold here, and this candle closes bearish, but you were able to get a trade that aligned with your bias, that aligned with your entry function, and you took a winning trade based on that, it doesn't matter what the daily candle did. Okay, it's just a tool to get in and out of position. Excuse me for 1 sec while I just grab a drink, guys. Okay, so I'll be looking to see how gold reacts here. We are moving quite nicely at the moment. I want to see how price reacts to this 50% level of Tuesday's range here. Let's have a look at the hourly. So we had this sweep here, so this leg here we can run our standard deviations from the low to the high. And our target region, this -2 to -2.5, aligns with these highs here. So a nice target here. Looking at the line chart to see the change in the state of delivery, just because price has moved around a little bit. It's not as clear as I'd generally like it to be. Namely because this would be the change in the state of delivery here, we have displacement, very small FEG, and we do get a close above. Price did drop below and has then retested and mucked around on this level. So we'll use that as our change in the state of delivery. We can see price is moving away from that level now. So looking at this region for a target. So quick one on Dixie, external range liquidity. So we had a sweep there. Price moved and reacted to that level. We had a small bullish FEG here, but price has mitigated that level now and we're moving lower. So the next liquidity run is through this low here. So if price does reach this level, then we'll see how price reacts. So if we displace through, then we can look to target, say, this gap down here. But we'll see how price moves first. If we do get price hitting this target and displacing through, then we can reassess. Have a look at the Russell. So price sweeping the high here. Then we've come out of this gap. So the most recent information is this bullish FEG. You can see price filled the gap here yesterday as well, the opening gap. So then we will look to target this high. So moving from internal to external. YM. So although YM has swept this high, we can see that we've displaced higher. So we've got gaps left behind here. And these are untapped as well. So you just stick with the trend. The trend is your friend. So look towards bullish prices on YM today as well. Let's go and have a look at GBP. So on GBP, we see that price moved from this external level here into this internal, this bearish FEG, and we can see how price did react here as well. We got quite an indecisive candle yesterday with this doji, and now we're looking at price displacing through. So if price displaces through this bearish FEG, then mitigates it, we can look to see if price will reach a little bit higher here. So while we're displacing through, we'll stay with a bullish bias. We've got a couple of minutes left here, guys. Does anyone want to look at anything in particular? Any crypto or anything like that? One of my favorite coins is VRA, so I'm going to have a look at that while we're sitting here. It's probably one of my favorites because it's one of my biggest investments, but you can see here how all the concepts we use for futures or forex trading play out exactly the same for crypto as well. You know, we see here we had the sweep, we had a bullish unicorn, displacement through, price retraced back and respected this level. We had a change in the state of delivery here as well, and price has just run higher. Now we went past our max extension, so then we can look to see what price is doing here, and we can see that we had this bullish FVG, price respecting that and closing higher. So again, looking to see price reach for the high here. What about Bitcoin? See how close we got to that 100,000 target that everyone's so hopeful for. So we had a bullish FVG here. That's been mitigated. Price has retested that level as well. Very nice, JK. That's one of my other holdings as well, is ETH. I'm pretty happy with where ETH's sitting at the moment, but overall, I actually started trading crypto. That's how I got into trading in the first place. I did move away from trading crypto to just holding crypto. So some of my bags are still down a little bit. So I'm really looking forward to this bull run to get back in the green on some of those. Yes, I hold, what have I got? I've got some XRP, VRA, NIA, AVAX. I sold my soul, literally sold my soul. I wish I had held my soul, but I didn't. I've got some energy web token as well. So a few of these coins here I have. No, codeine. I'm not holding any soul. I really wish I was. Yeah, NIA's a good one. I really enjoy. NIA is performing quite well as well at the moment. And for once, I actually made a little bit of money on XRP too, because that was pretty much a stable coin for so long. So I'll be looking to see, like, at this stage, if Bitcoin can't run up from here, then we'll be looking for this level here as a target, this 88,000 for a sweep here. Oh, good. I'm glad you're in profit. It's easy to get. It's easy to get involved in too many coins. I consolidated a lot of mine because I just had such a big list of altcoins that was just ridiculous. I'm still yet to find the next Peppy that I can just put $100 into and make 100 grand out of. But you know, I guess my time will come. All right, guys, well, I'm going to start wrapping it up there. If you've got any last minute questions, throw them in the chat. Got to get ready for New York Open, and obviously if you're in the Unicorn University or Ash Capital's Discord, you know he'll be running his midweek stream in his YouTube today. I think that'll be kicking off at 9:15. Never taken the plunge, day trader, day trading realtor. You've never taken the plunge into crypto. Not even dipped your toes in a little bit. Thanks, Nate. Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. I really appreciate you guys participating. It makes my job easier when we get the chat happening as well. So thank you so much for those who jumped in the chat today. Why are we talking? You should be on some mega yacht somewhere. Now we'll keep doing the midweek stream. I'm trying to work on my routine to do some London streams. I really would like to do that for you guys. Maybe do some live trading would be awesome. It's just problematic with family time and my wife's work as well. So I'm trying to at least work out one day a week where we can get in a London stream, because I know there is a lot of London traders in the Discord as well. So we want to cater to all of you guys. All right. Thank you very much, guys. We'll get into it. Get ready for New York Open. Thanks again for tuning in. Make sure you sub to the channel, guys. Give the video a like and turn on your notifications so you will always see any new content I throw out there as well. I do a video every day, except for tomorrow. I won't be doing one tomorrow at this stage. All right, guys, take care, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.